Hey everyone, it's Brian with WorkshopAddict. Today I want to go over a problem I have, and I guess the first step is admitting it. Go into the big box stores, I go down the tool aisle, I see a bunch of tools, I buy them, go home, wife hates me, but it's just what happens. In some cases she really loves me, like these scissors that I bought, but I want to go over some Milwaukee tools here quick and kind of just start by why I purchased them, what I think about them, and why I continue to keep going back and buying more of them. Let's start out here. These are some Needlenose Pliers. Very simple. Everybody's probably got a pair. But what I like about all these tools is the grip. Some of the grips you can get are really plasticky and they don't have grip. Some of them are really rubbery, and I've had cases where when you're squeezing them, the rubber actually starts to peel off the metal. These are right in between. You still have great grip, but you know that there's no way that this plastic is going to come off the metal. And they also are filled with other little neat things that kind of help you out in other areas. So you got Needlenose Pliers, you got cutters, almost everyone does. On the outside you have a little spot if you want to ream a tube or a hole, and on the back, inside here, you can push a fish tape with it, which is just something else that you don't have to carry another tool for. Moving on, we have the set of straight jaw pliers. Now, I mean, yeah, they're just straight jaw pliers. They adjust like everything else. Again, the grip is nice. They're made good. The actual plier area up here is really nice and hard. It grips well. Everything's good, but they have a spot. You can ream here, or if you want to ream up front, and they're meant to pound with. So if you have an electrical box, you want to pound something out, or if you're like me and you don't carry a hammer and you need to push, pound something, just be careful not to hit your hand. But other than that, awesome. Now they also have the man size version, so if you're looking for something a little bigger or you need to pound with something a little harder, you can get this. I use these on larger bolts in agriculture. Now I think these have up to about a 5-inch reach, so that's a pretty big grip. But at the same point in time, very nice. They're not wobbly. Everything adjusts nice. And compared to some of the other ones on the market, they're priced right. They're lineman pliers, and these, I love these. I just don't, I don't use them enough, but with the features that are on this, you have your normal grip, you have your cutters that are in most of them, a reaming area, an area for a fish tape in the back, but then also a spot to crimp wires. Now that's something that is usually missing in a lot of them. And it's one other reason why I'll carry it around. Now if I skip ahead, I also bought their normal electrical pliers for stripping and cutting, and I carry these around when I'm doing electrical in the house. But the one thing that it misses is the crimping area. So I can do almost the same thing here, but this one does strip 18 down to 10 gauge wire. And what I liked about these is their positive closing latch. So you didn't have a little metal clip that was just flipping over. You actually had a latch that closed it. Then hex jaw pliers. So if you have that nasty rusty bolt or a bolt that you don't care about that you're just going to put some pliers on and rip out, not use again, these are awesome. They again can ream, you can punch on them with the end, but the bolt fits inside there perfect and the grip on them is excellent. They also have the baby version, which again I absolutely just think is cool. This one you push in on this little pin to move it, and the nice thing about that is it doesn't change. So if you're trying to get into a spot, this thing, you don't open it up and it goes and all of a sudden it's too big. It works out nice. That's the same way on both these, and they're really small gearing, I guess you'd call them there, so you can get them exactly where you want them. Side cutters, again, normal side cutters, great grip on the side, but also has a place in back that you can grab a fish tape, or if you need to grab and pull a wire, it's got it included. Nice little reaming area again up front. Moving on to their knives. I enjoy having a good pair of knives. I usually try to stick with Benchmade or something like that, but when I'm carrying something around in the field, I just want something that I can pull out, stays sharp, and works. Now I've had this knife now for about 2 months, and what I really enjoy about it is when you're using it, it's got a spring-loaded opening, and while I can't sharpen it, it does have a serrated edge, and the knife itself actually stays very sharp. Now I have some Smith & Wesson brands and some other HK brands, which are, some of them are made by Benchmade, that are very similar. The only difference is they don't have the plastic around the outside. But what I've found is this knife is actually a bit lighter and thinner than those, so it fits in my pocket better. And also, if I throw one in the toolbox, it doesn't start to get rusty. That is huge. So fishing, camping, hunting, these things have been where it's at. They also have a knife, and this one is not spring-loaded, but you have to be careful with it a little bit. These take a normal razor blade. These have been awesome. You've seen many of these different types out there. They come in skinny versions, but what I like about this one is you can grab onto it. It's a little bit thicker. It's meant to, if you're gonna cut, it's not something that's thin and long. It's comfortable. So for cutting boxes, cutting just about anything, this is my go-to. And I'm a little bit careful with it because I've gotten burned by these in the past, but you can use it and just flip it open, flip it closed, watch where your finger's at. It also has a place back here where it's storing another blade that you could go in and cut boxes. Normal voltage regulator, but this thing has saved me. I absolutely love this unit. I used to have some different brands, but again, in the little Milwaukee section, I grabbed onto it, thought it was awesome. The kids actually picked this up because they wanted to have something to charge their iPods on the road or in the boat. And one of the big things with them is that they never have an iPod or iPhone that's charged above 20%. I have no clue why. I keep telling them go over to Android, but you can't teach them. So this little unit has a spot in it that you can turn it on and off, and it will charge one USB device. They use it all the time on any of the M18 batteries and love it. The last thing, and I'm going to warn you, don't show your wife after you buy these. Milwaukee has a set of angled and straight scissors. There's two things. One, my wife has grabbed the straight set and they stay in the kitchen. I kind of chuckle about it every time I pull them out, but they're excellent, they're sharp, they cut anything. These things will cut big plastic pieces, boxes. The one thing that you don't want to do is show your friends and say, hey, these are incredibly sharp, and run your finger down the edge because it will cut your finger. Been there. They are excellent to use, comfortable, and I would suggest that anybody with a shop has a set of these. Even if you're opening up new tools like all this, they're excellent. You don't struggle, you're not bending them, and they'll last. These are probably 3.5 months old. Excellent set. So as you're walking through any of the big box stores, or if you see this stuff on Amazon, don't be afraid of it. It's priced right, it's built well, and I think you really like it. So this is Brian with Workshop Addict. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Stop by our blog. We have a lot of other posts on there about these tools and also some other ones that we reviewed. We have a lot of giveaways going on, so check that out. Stop by our forum at WorkshopAddict.com. Throw me some comments in the bottom. I want to hear what you think about these tools. Thank you for your time and have a great day.